Welcome to another evening edition of Monday Movie Pickup. True Lies. This is one that everybody in the home video community has been waiting a long time for. Saw the movie years ago, just as a digital release, because the DVD, even the DVD is pretty hard to find nowadays. For some reason it just never hit Blu-ray, and then, we already got 4K, and then it seemed like, how long was it going to be before it got released on 4K? It didn't help that once 20th Century Fox was purchased by Disney, it made people think that there was no chance this would ever get released. There was an announcement for a Blu-ray years ago, like I think almost a decade ago, but it never happened, even though they did make special features for it at the time. They just didn't make the Blu-ray. I really don't know what happened, and a lot of Cameron movies have notorious issues with their transfers. A lot of people are not happy with a lot of Blu-ray releases for James Cameron's older work, and it seems to be the same case with this one. I haven't given it a watch yet, but I've heard people were already saying they're not impressed with what they've done to the movie. That it doesn't look all that great. But, this was going to be the only way to get the movie finally on Blu-ray and on 4K. So, of course, I'm going to add it to my collection, but it is frustrating that the transfer is having similar issues as that infamous Terminator 2 release. Terms of Endearment. So this is the 1983 Best Picture winner, and this is from the Paramount Presents line. Yes, they are continuing the Paramount Presents line. This is number 42, and I've been really happy with these releases just because it's getting some lesser known Paramount movies finally on Blu-ray for the first time. A lot of movies are hitting 4K for the first time. I've done videos going over some of the issues with the line and how it didn't really seem thought out at first, but overall I've been happy with a lot of the releases just because these are some movies that I would have never expected to hit Blu-ray. This is a movie that was already on Blu-ray though, and while it does have a new special feature, for the most part it's the same release that you had before. I mean, yeah, it's on 4K now, so that makes people happy, but I still don't fully know what makes a Paramount Presents title a Paramount Presents title. I have no idea. Primal Fear. This is a very cool one, in that it's a movie that I've actually never heard of before. It's a courtroom drama. Richard Gere, I think that's just Edward Norton's in the movie as well, so it's really cool to get something that I don't really know anything about. And this is the type of title I'm looking for from Paramount Presents. More obscure titles that maybe deserve a 4K transfer, deserve the 4K disc, the inside sleeve that has the full poster from the theatrical release. And yeah, just I'm excited to give this one a watch because I like courtroom dramas, and yeah, never heard of it. And actually, Paramount Presents has some really cool upcoming stuff, like they have Once Upon a Time in the West coming, finally on 4K for the first time, and Chinatown's coming as well. So those aren't obscure titles, those are, more popular titles that have been widely available on Blu-ray for years, but it's the first time both of them will be hitting 4K, and the Chinatown release especially makes me happy because it's going to include the so-called sequel, The Two Jakes. So both movies are going to be in one set. And then there was a Shout Select sale, so I got the 71st title here. This is Ned Kelly. As you know, I've been trying to collect some of these Shout Select movies just because, similar to the Paramount Presents line, some are very popular and some are kind of obscure titles that I've never really heard of before. This is a movie that has Heath Ledger, Orlando Bloom. What should I expect with it? The Road to Wellville. This would be the 110th release from the collection, and yeah, this is another one that I know nothing about. I don't really know what to expect with it. I'm looking at the back image here, and it's a stacked cast. Anthony Hopkins, Matthew Broderick, Dana Carvey, John Cusack, Bridget Fonda. That's a stacked cast, so it's got to be pretty interesting. Here's a very popular title, though, Fargo. This is the 4K edition from Shout Select. This is a movie that was partially filmed in my home state of Minnesota, so it's near and dear to all of our hearts, even though they call the movie Fargo, even though most of the movie does not even take place in Fargo. It's a very memorable movie, definitely worth watching again, and watching on 4K. This is the this would be the 148th release, so this is a little more recent. And then we got a very recent release. This is the Police Academy Collection. So I actually owned this movie previously. from Warner Brothers. They released it. It was a region-free set, so it wasn't released in the United States. I don't think it was ever released in the US, actually, but there was a region-free set that had a lot of special features, and each movie had its own individual Blu-ray disc. So that isn't the case with this set. This, besides the first Police Academy movie, it does start to put both movies on one disc, and then there's a special features disc. So there's less discs with this set than there was with the region-free set from over a decade ago. However, this has all the same special features, and I'm sure way better transfers, so it's an easy bet to just go with the Shout set. But this is the 150th release from the Shout Select line. It has cemented itself in history now that it's part of the Shout Select series. I have here the Film Noir box set, The Dark Side of Cinema. This is the 16th release, and this has the Mystery of Marie Roget, Chicago Deadline, and Iron Man. Not the Robert Downey Jr. Marvel film Iron Man. No, this is a different Iron Man. So, looks like it's a boxing movie. That will work well as a double feature with the actual Iron Man. But I got the last release that Kino did of these Dark Side of Cinema movies. So I think this is just a great idea for Kino to get out a bunch of movies all at once. These lesser known titles. These are from Universal. Man, their disc art is so plain though. Mostly because I was trying to get a hold of this one. This is sometimes considered a Universal horror movie. Even though I don't know how many horror elements are in this versus some of the other movies on this set, but like I said, it's one of those movies that sometimes is considered one of the lesser known of the Universal horror line. Here's Jetsons the movie. So this actually looks like it's owned by Universal, so that makes sense now why this was not a movie that was released through the Warner Archive, because it looks like they didn't even do the release for it. It's Universal. I didn't really know that, I guess, until I bought this Blu-ray, so that makes a lot more sense, because Hanna-Barbera has been on the mind lately. They did that Hanna-Barbera set through Warner Archive that I'm very excited to get, but I just thought it was odd that this movie got released through Kino somehow, but I guess it's because it's owned by Universal. I have never heard many people talk about this movie. I don't even know if a lot of people know that it exists, that it was released in theaters. I heard it's not all that great, so I guess we'll finally watch it and find out. Victor and Victoria, this is the original movie. This is not the 80s version of the musical. Yeah, it'll be interesting to give this German movie a look. And then we have here The Monster Squad. So this actually had a DVD release, I think in 2007, which had 2 discs that went really wild with the special features. And the movie has a huge cult following, but that DVD and the Blu-ray especially went out of print. The Blu-ray is pretty tricky to find nowadays, and it was re-released on Blu-ray. That's the one I have, but it doesn't have any of the special features from that set, at least not all of them. Now they have this new 4K set from Kino, and the great part is it includes the special features from that DVD or that Blu-ray from, like I said, I think it was 2007, so I mean it's been a long time, but it has everything plus the newest documentary, Wolfman's Got Nards. I heard about this separately from this release, so this actually came out, I believe, it says 2018, so it was actually a few years before this Blu-ray was even made. I think that was made independently, and then when Kino was working on this set, they just included the documentary, and it's even on Blu-ray, so that's pretty awesome. This is really just, before even really diving into it, and I've heard great reviews about this transfer, I think this is just really worth it for all the special features you get altogether. I don't know what the regular price is on this because I got all these Kino discs in a sale, but like I said, I really think this set just overall is worth it, and I think it'll make a lot of people happy who missed out on the previous Blu-ray release from over a decade ago. So really cool to see that, and then that's everything for this week. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for watching the video, and special shout out to Anthony, Anna, Kirsten, Spencer, Lucas, and Robert for the support on Patreon. By joining my Patreon, you can get exclusive videos and blogs, and for only $7, you can request your own movie review. I hope you stick around, Cinephile, and have a happy, productive day.